This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available coffee, teas, chocolate, and other products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well.
And now, Fairfax Breakfast Club with your host, Besile Lemba.
Welcome to the Fairfax Breakfast Club show. My name is Besile Lemba and I will be your host. The Fairfax Breakfast Club is a weekly program in which we bring to you valuable and workable know-how you can use to improve your networking skills and grow your business. We always start the show with a quote, and today's quote is, "Obviously, the highest type of efficiency is that which can utilize existing materials to the best advantage." That is from Jawaharlal Nehru. With us today in the studio, we have someone who helps businesses increase their efficiency, that is non-profit and for-profit as well. Her name is Christine Searle. Hello, Christine.
Hello, Besile.
How are you?
Very good to see you. I'm very well. And I'm so happy for this opportunity. Thank you. I love talking about my business, and I don't know if you'll be able to have me stop doing it today.
We'll see what we can do.
Okay.
We have a force behind it. I'm just kidding. So tell us about, how do you come to start your business first?
Well, I have over 30 years of experience helping for-profit and non-profit businesses make the best use of their resources. Mm-hmm. Usually that's about money. Mm-hmm. And I most recently worked for the American Red Cross as an internal auditor. Oh. I also was an internal auditor at a bank. I worked in financial planning, mm-hmm. and I worked in the financial services industry. I have a lot of experience that in working in large organizations, they have a lot of people like me helping them every day, mm-hmm. Save money, avoid waste. But smaller organizations really can't afford the internal staff or someone like PwC or Deloitte to come in and help them. So I saw a need for someone to help small businesses and nonprofits get control of their finances and really understand their finances and operations, mm-hmm. so they can get visibility into their business and make good decisions.
Well, that's a big statement. Can you explain a little bit more in details what you just said?
Well, for example...
Oh yeah, by giving us an example, yeah.
Yeah, examples can be good because I know that when people start a business, they have an idea or a passion around providing a service or good. And they have a lot of expertise and knowledge about that service or good, mm-hmm. but they really want to start their business. They might not know how to do that. They start anyway, or they get help to start their business. And that means setting up where the money's going to come from, where it's going to go after they earn it, how they're going to use it, how they know whether their money is being used wisely and if they're achieving their objectives. Mm-hmm. And that requires collecting information, setting up their financial records and their financial reports, and then reports about their business activities so that they can see all in one place how it's connected. Absolutely. And how their business is growing, or if they're making money or not. Some people don't have a view of how their business is really operating. So I help them through my experience and listening to what their concerns and needs are, mm-hmm. with identifying a way to get on track so that they can get clear and accurate information to make decisions that are going to be best for their business growth.
Okay. Would you say you act as a CPA, financial planner, or what do you consider your business to be?
It's actually establishing the controls and processes to allow a CPA or a financial planner to do their work. I often work with new CFOs or new controllers in a business that haven't learned how their business operations work. Sometimes, even though a business has been in place for a while, it's really not clear how it operates because there might be disconnected processes and there is not a view established at the management level to see how the business is operating. And often that's around money. It's around, where is my money coming in from and where is it going? Is my product or service priced correctly? So I can work with them to identify whether or not they have identified what their true costs are. Sometimes people don't really know what their business is costing them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So they also occasionally have inefficiencies. I liked your quote because often people are spending more on their business than they should because they're inefficient. They have manual processes that need to be automated, but just automating a process doesn't necessarily make it better. You have to have human intervention. Somebody has to decide what the new automated system is going to do for them, what objectives they want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So what I always start with is what the business owner's objectives are, and then what is getting in the way of achieving their objectives.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. I mean, not that everybody does. We know most people do not. Doesn't the business plan help them figure out the cost accounting of their product and what have you? If they do one, not everybody does a business plan. That's understandable. I'm just trying to.
No, you're bringing up another great example where people have a business plan, so they know what they want to do, but they don't know how to do it. So I can identify if someone doesn't have a business plan. I have networking partners that are better at developing a business plan.
Mm-hmm.
I come in, or my expertise is really helping someone execute the plan at the task level. So it's all well and good to have income projections and identify growth, but then
Cash flow projections.
but then are you tracking that? And then are you tracking the right things, the essential elements of your business that are going to identify before you have a big nasty surprise? Maybe if you gather the right information, you can see it coming in advance. So developing the processes that are at the more detailed level than a business plan or even a strategic plan. Strategic planners are great business partners for me because they can get the business owner or nonprofit aligned correctly with what their objectives and what they're trying to achieve are. But strategic planners might not be the right person to help identify the tasks that are going to get those objectives to the finish line.
Okay, so basically there's a strategy, and you work at a tactical level.
Yes.
To make that strategy a reality.
Yes.
And simple, doable actions.
Hopefully.
Why
and
do
you know, that is usually very doable because one of the things that you develop in the number of years I've been helping clients is an awareness of what the options are and some things that have been tried and sounded good when a salesman or someone that is the marketing person tries to implement a change or a system. Mm-hmm. But I've seen what the tasks, the steps are to make a successful project, to achieve a successful change. Mm-hmm. It's usually about the planning. So but planning at a different level, the tasks, the details, but then monitoring to make sure that what you've put in place makes sense, which gets me back to the reporting, which I know sounds really boring, but if you don't have a view of what you've put into place is working, you can be running on a lot of assumptions and that aren't really borne out in the facts.
Gotcha. So basically you establish a system people can use so they can track the business so they know exactly where they stand.
Right.
And they know if they are moving forward or going backward on their business.
Absolutely. And I bring a disciplined approach so that there's a consistent methodology I use, but every project is tailored for the needs of the business owner.
And this is something that small business do not have. Big business has it. You say the goal of your company is to bring that to small businesses because more often than not, they don't have it.
That's correct. Usually it's only much larger businesses or businesses that are making significant revenue and can bring in higher priced consultants. Here in Washington, and I'm sure other parts of the country, there are a lot of people that they charge hundreds of dollars an hour to perform projects. I used to work for a $3 to $5 billion a year company, depending on activities, and they had a staff of 15 people, just like me, to do work all the time to make sure that they were staying on track with their business. And you're right, who can afford that? But you can afford a reasonably priced consultant who really has an understanding of the practical approaches that I don't have a lot of layers and must-dos in the services I deliver, because just one size does not fit all. So small businesses generally, I can't remember ever seeing a small business, and it's rare for a nonprofit to have someone on staff to perform the services that I provide.
Gotcha. Do you don't have much competition then, I'm assuming?
I have started my business last year on my own, and I did do some homework before I started. and all the networking I've done before and now, I haven't met anybody else that's delivering the services I'm delivering.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think some of it might be the desire to generate a lot of revenue. I want to make a living, don't get me wrong, but the reason that...
Oh, they go to the big guys to
they're going to the bigger guys.
They
and even, I don't know if I mentioned I work for the Red Cross, they're a big guy, but the help that they often need is very expensive. And I don't see a smaller organization being able to bankroll that. And I wanted to bring services that were modestly priced, but still were priced so that people would recognize the value. And so I really think that, yes, price, but I still have the level of expertise, because I used to engage PwC and other professionals when I needed staff on my team. So I understand how they work and that they have great people.
But the other question I'm trying to understand is, why is that not a lot of people are doing what you set out to do?
I guess I'm stumbling with this because I can't pretend to know what other people think.
Okay.
Maybe they just don't want to take the risk. I'm a risk taker.
Because it seems to me there's a big vacuum there. Yeah.
I think you're right. And maybe after people see this television show and see it on YouTube, they'll understand that there is a huge void. But I'm sorry, I can't pretend to know what other people think.
No, that's what I'm just...
But isn't this great? I thought of it.
Well, good for you. You don't have a competition, so you're going to have a field day.
Well, but I think that there is going to be a time when I might have more work than I can handle. That's great, because then I can be very selective. But I'm hoping that maybe I can set an example and lead the market and draw other people too, because it can be done. And
well, you got to start somewhere, something. We had another lady before on the show, Debbie Brasher, who's doing something which is also never been done. Nobody does that, she's doing it. So, well, that's part of the free enterprise in the country.
Absolutely.
You latch onto an idea or something you're interested in, or you see the need, you go ahead and fill that need and get paid for it.
Well,
I guess it's called business.
I think so. So I guess what you're trying to tell me is that I'm pretty intuitive and maybe insightful.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, let's talk about something slightly different, the breakfast event. You've been to the Breakfast Club. Can you tell your audience the experience at the breakfast event?
Well, I went to my first Breakfast Club event in September. I started my business in August of 2014, and I found the Breakfast Club on the internet. Between the time that I found it and registered for my first event in September, I met somebody else who said, you know, you should go to the Fairfax Breakfast Club. And I thought, wow, I think I found something good. It is such a unique and valuable event. I have shed some other events from my calendar, but not that one. It it not only brings a lot of professionals together and have an opportunity to meet each other, but you always make it interesting. We always have education and reiteration of what's important. And I think the theme of building relationships really resonates with me because that is so important. I built my prior career on it, so I really think that the value system that you that you share with everybody that comes in the door, and you have great speakers too.
Yeah, definitely. And also, you came to the last expo we had.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Tell us about it.
Well, I had no idea. I really didn't know what to expect. And I remember asking you, now, Besile, this goes from 8 to 2. What time do you think I should come? And you said, oh, Christine, you should come all day. And I looked at the schedule, and you had different sessions with speakers, and there were going to be booths, and I thought, oh, I'll show up for a little while. I was there all day, and it was wonderful to meet new people, connect with some people that I already met, got more time to speak with them, and then the fact that you had food vendors there, because I thought, what am I going to eat? This is at some community center, and you made it entertaining, enjoyable, and the day went like that, and I just loved it.
Okay, good. Excellent. Well, we have another one coming on May 22nd.
I heard about that. Where did I hear about that?
I'm not sure. Yes, we have another one coming on May 22nd. I'd love to have you there, guys. It will be on the Stacy Sherwood Community Center from 8 to 2. Also, we have the monthly breakfast event, which is at the new location we have. You've been to both locations, right?
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
I have. And I think there really, been more people at the new location. It is easier to get to on ample parking.
Yeah. That's one of the major. It is a total, complete improvement.
It is, and it's right there at 123 and 66 in Fairfax.
Yes.
So I live in Arlington, so I just shoot out 66. It's very easy.
Yes, and then as soon as you get off 66, you're right there. So now we have about between 40 and 50 people at each breakfast event right now. It's well attended, the sound quality is better, the parking is marvelous because then people don't, you have 370 parking spots. So now we don't have to worry about where to park. And it just really, I didn't like the fact that we didn't have parking space. People have to walk.
I know, but at least you're still there and you're always sharing. There's always some new aspect of networking and relationship building that you share, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, so definitely that's exciting. Now tell me, and what is that you do then when you're not working?
When I'm not working?
I realize a wild concept.
I know. Well, actually, I love living here in the Washington area. There are so many things to do, but one of my favorite passions is dancing.
Oh, okay.
I do a lot of social dancing. As a matter of fact, I plan to go to Glen Echo tomorrow night and partake of some Zydeco dancing.
Okay.
So yes, it's really a lot of fun, and it's a great escape, and it's good exercise.
Oh yeah, well, dancing is one of the best exercise you can do.
So, and it's just a lot of fun. So, and I meet some really wonderful people. And I even met somebody networking that I thought, you look familiar, and I'd seen her at a Zydeco dance. So,
okay.
It's a small world.
Yes, definitely. That's very exciting. Now, what are the connections? What are the people that, do you have any favorite type of businesses that you work with?
Well, I do have a passion for
who seems to be okay.
My focus is to have a blend of nonprofit and for-profit businesses. So a lot of my work so far since I've been on my own is with for-profit. Some of them are religious-based organizations that need help documenting their accounting procedures, different little projects that they need done, implementing a grant management system. But there are also organizations of various types. I talked recently to a florist. I talked to financial planners or banks that have customers that are in the retail business, educational services businesses, but they've come for a loan and they don't have financial records that are clear and adequate to get through the underwriting process. So I really have worked with a number of different types of organizations.
So how do you help somebody as far as the loan is concerned? So,
Well,
With the numbers
usually,
we talk about. We talk about the cash flow projection. Is that what you help with?
well, the banks usually want to know where the financial position of your organization. And because they're going to assess the risk of lending money and identify the interest rate. Well, believe it or not, there are organizations that go to a bank and they have financials that are not up to date or complete, or in a format that is acceptable for the bank to use. And so what that really indicates is that business owner or nonprofit hasn't brought in the appropriate professional expertise to help them set up their chart of accounts and their other records the way they should be. So that's where an existing business can use my help getting things set up so that they can apply for a loan, but then also a nonprofit. If they want to apply for a grant, they're going to have to provide financials for the grantor to understand, yes, this is a viable nonprofit. They're really going to deliver the services. So it's all about credibility. At the end of the day, if your financials aren't up to date and clear, what does that really say about you? So that gets back to, if that isn't your area of expertise, you need to bring in someone whose expertise it is.
Gotcha. Interesting. So just so you do that when it comes to finances. Do you also do process, I'm guessing, also to run their businesses?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. I do. Often we start talking about finances, and then I do find out that there is not clear information about the operations of their business. They might not know how much they're selling or how much time and resources their staff is taking to get the job done. So I can
basically
help.
you're looking at productivity.
Right. And what that entails, just generally, is observing the process, understanding what it's supposed to look like, and then looking at what is really going on, and then work with the business owner on identifying and then addressing the differences. But that's also a great opportunity to reassess, okay, what objectives are you really trying to achieve? Often business owners set up the business and then just keep it running, and they're so busy they don't have a chance to pause and look at where they are and see if they're achieving what they were meaning to achieve.
But I guess they realize that when it comes to asking for a loan, then seldom do they have a problem.
Well, that's just one example. And that actually...
Because unless somebody is on them, demanding those processes that they've been in place. I mean, I'm not saying that all business, some organize themselves well, but I guess it's one of those things I'm just trying to understand when the needs, when that comes up.
Well, there is self-awareness and looking at whether or not I feel like I'm achieving my goals, and then there's awareness thrust upon you, as you're saying. And you know what? It's not the best way, but if that's what it takes, sometimes, like even in this financial crisis we had, it wasn't pretty and it hasn't been pleasant, but I think it made some business owners really assess how they were doing things because they didn't have as much money coming in the door. So I guess that's a way of looking at, the glass is half full, but it's really, if you need a loan, maybe you wouldn't need a loan if you had been managing your business, but now that you do, you're in a position to get your business ducks in a row.
Well, I guess you just have to campaign now to all the businesses, the small businesses, let them know that you're there to provide your service. So for the announcing to run their business for once, and also to make sure that in case they want to ask for a loan, their papers are in order.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm so glad to be here with you. And I'm also, I've been blogging, writing articles, working with some workshop opportunities and other ways for people to learn more about me. Because this is, as you said, I'm the only one out here doing it, providing this service the way I am. That just means I have to at the beginning, spend a little bit more time making people aware of who I am and what I can do.
Well, education is, I think, is the key thing. Do you know about the Women's Center? Have you been to the Women's Center in Springfield?
I have connected with the Women's Center, yes.
Okay.
I've been, yes. I have actually been quite busy connecting with people in the Northern Virginia area mostly, and some into DC.
Okay.
I serve my clients based in Arlington, and so I've been trying to very focused on Northern Virginia.
Very good. I think you should, I mean, that would be good for you to introduce yourself to them, work with them, because then from the get-go, because they teach people how to do business, then maybe you can give a class there.
Oh, absolutely.
And get those basics in place from the very beginning. And that way they can easily grow their business productivity-wise and income-wise.
Well, and you make a good point. Doing it right the first time is a lot less costly than having to change it later. But no, thank you for that suggestion. I've been looking for those types of opportunities because I know they do great work there.
Definitely. And they have a breakfast event the first Friday of the month, which you should definitely go, and then you can meet all those people over there as well as connect with the organization itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, folks, that's what we have for today. I just want to remind you rapidly that we have the breakfast event once a month. You can check on our website, which is blnbc.com. And the major expo we talked about coming up, and the website for that is ultbizexpo.com. We thank you very much for tuning. I thank you, Christine, for coming on our show.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. So we're looking forward to seeing you next time. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available coffee, teas, chocolate, and other products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well.